So one of the latest trends in America are seniors that are unretiring. Yeah, they're re-entering the workforce. And a lot of this is happening in their 60s and 70s. After they've already retired, they're going back. Now, some of it is for social reasons, while other reasons are economic. And another thing that's really happening that's discouraging for older Americans is the fastest growing population of homeless people is seniors. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are getting crushed by inflation. They're getting crushed by, the cost of property taxes and just what it takes to keep a home up. And they're having to give up their homes and becoming homeless. So it's really becoming a crisis in the United States. So some of the things that people are doing are getting side hustles and other jobs that don't require them to have to fully re-enter the workforce. So let's take a look at some of these. So number one is to go ahead and rent out some of your property. And this can be for storage space. Do you have a corner in the lot of your home or a place where somebody can park a travel trailer or boat or something like that so it's not going to be in your way, and you can go ahead and charge them a monthly fee for doing that. You can rent out a room in your house. There are other different ways that you can rent out parts of your property, some being pretty invasive. If you rent out a room in your house, you're actually going to have somebody living with you. It's going to be like having a roommate. But if you rent out part of your lot for somebody to park their boat or something like that, that's not going to be too bad. It's just every once in a while somebody's going to come in and they're going to pull that boat out and go use it. But it's not going to be very invasive on your lifestyle. So renting out some kind of property or a room or something like that could be a way to make some extra cash every month. Now I will say, if you're going to do something like that, you probably do need to go ahead and get a hold, well you do, you need to get a hold of your insurance agent and have them put on additional liability for you and let them know what you're doing and add that into the cost of what it is. If you're only going to charge somebody a certain amount, make sure that it's going to cover the additional insurance that you have to have on your property. So if you have a pretty nice car, this second one isn't a bad deal. You can go ahead and sign up to do Uber, Lyft, rideshare, something like that, where you can go ahead and utilize that car to make some extra money. And it could really be convenient for you. And that is something where you set your own hours. My son does this actually. He does a lot of Ubering, and he goes ahead and just sets his own hours when he wants to go ahead and do it. And he makes pretty decent money at it. He said that the Uber Eats and the places where you go pick up things for people and deliver them to their home doesn't pay quite as well. But if you're not into having people in your car and riding with you, if that makes you uncomfortable, something like Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that may be right up your alley. I saw here a few days ago, I saw a pickup truck with a Walmart magnetic sign on it. So I think Walmart is even starting to get into some of this ride sharing. Now this third one may take a little bit more on your part, and that's doing professional consulting, mentoring, things like that. Utilizing what you may have done in your career or your lifetime that you may be able to pass along to others. People are always willing to learn, and normally there are quite a few people looking for good qualified teachers. And I was surprised when I was getting ready to retire. I got an offer to actually teach at a local community college, and I told them, I said, well, I don't have a degree of any kind. And they said, well, that's all right, because this is not more of an accredited class. It was teaching electrical and instrumentation, and it didn't require that I actually be certified for that course. I ended up not doing that because I didn't want to get tied down to it. It wasn't a bad deal. It was going to be about 4 to 6 hours of actual teaching time a week and about $600 a month, so the pay wasn't too bad. But I just didn't want to get tied down with that because, as you probably know, if you're going to teach any kind of a course or curriculum, it's more than just the actual time in front of the students in the classroom. you know, you got to prep for all that. You got to get ready. You got to have materials. You got to print things out. So, you know, it would have been a pretty big commitment, and I just didn't want to get into that the first year or so of my retirement. Now, the other thing some companies are looking for is more like trainers. And training is something that, you know, you might get on Indeed or something like that. Now, to become a trainer, sometimes that can be a little harder. Sometimes there is some training involved in becoming a trainer. You know, they call it train the trainer. So you may have to actually spend some money on some online classes or something like that to get your certifications to do that sort of thing. But anyway, utilizing your professional know-how to teach others could be a way to make some side money. So I'd like to pause the video for just a minute, and if you would, go ahead down in the comments, tell me something that you might be able to do or you think that you might be able to do to create some side money in retirement that might help you out. So, and I kind of saved the best for last, is going ahead and being an extra on a movie set or commercials, something like that. So if you're in the right location, and you have to be in the right location because not everywhere is friendly to making films and the film industry. So, but if you are in the right location, you know, Atlanta, Albuquerque, California, you know, places like that where they have the big studios, and you know, like Albuquerque, it doesn't have real big studios, but they do a lot of filming because the state of New Mexico is making it very tax-friendly for these companies to come in and make films. Now, we're a little ways away. We're about 4 or 5 hours, but my son, again, he takes advantage of that, and he runs over to the Albuquerque area and Las Cruces and a few places in New Mexico, and, you know, just sits in as an extra, and he gets paid a little bit for it. It's not a whole lot. It's not like what the movie stars make, but he gets a little bit. And, you know, I think he does it as much or more for the adventure. And he's been, you know, he's been right up close to like Nicole Kidman and some pretty big names on some of these shoots. So it's been a lot of fun for him. So you can take a look at that in two different ways. It can be an adventure and it can be a paid adventure. So that could be a lot of fun for you. So in today's society, sometimes you have to make decisions to actually be a retiree. So take a look at your situation. You know, if you have extra space, can you rent it out? If you have a nice car, can you do some ride sharing or some delivery services? If you enjoy working with others, you know, you can go ahead and become a consultant or do some kind of training. And if you want a little bit of adventure and you're in the right location, you know, consider being an extra on movie sets and commercials and things like that. And if you really want to go out on a limb, start a YouTube channel. You know, that's a way that it takes quite a while, or, you know, unless you hit it just right, it takes quite a while before you actually start making money. But, you know, as I found with my first channel, once it does start making money, it's not bad. It's kind of fun to do. Again, it's more of an adventure, and you get to meet a lot of people online, and I have a lot of fun doing it. So if this video's helped you out at all, please reach down, hit that like button, and watch this video next.